I told my brother that his wife's miscarriage was his fault. I was at my parents' house for Sunday dinner when my brother Kevin started lecturing his wife Mia about her diet. She'd just put a small slice of cake on her plate, and Kevin immediately grabbed it away from her. "You're not eating that," he said, like he was scolding a child. Mia's face flushed red, but she didn't argue. She just sat back down with her hands folded in her lap. My mom looked uncomfortable but didn't say anything. My dad kept eating like nothing happened. I stared at Kevin in disbelief. "Dude, it's one piece of cake." Kevin glared at me. "Stay out of it. You don't understand what we're going through." I looked at Mia, who was blinking back tears. "What you're going through? She's the one who can't eat dessert at a family dinner." Kevin crossed his arms. "We're trying to conceive again after the miscarriage. Mia needs to be in optimal health, and sugar is basically poison for fertility." Mia whispered something about it being fine, and Kevin cut her off. "It's not fine. We lost our baby because we weren't careful enough. I'm not letting that happen again." I watched Mia shrink into herself, and my blood started boiling. This wasn't new behavior from Kevin. Ever since Mia's miscarriage 8 months ago, he'd become completely obsessed with controlling every aspect of her life. He monitored her food intake with an app on his phone. He made her exercise exactly 45 minutes every day. No more, no less. He'd banned her from seeing certain friends because he said they were negative influences on her mental health. I'd watched my sister-in-law transform from a vibrant, funny woman into a shell of herself. "Kevin, she's allowed to eat cake," I said again. He slammed his hand on the table. "You don't get to tell me how to take care of my wife. We lost a baby. Do you have any idea what that feels like?" I kept my voice calm. "I know what it feels like to watch someone I care about be controlled and manipulated." Kevin stood up. "What did you just say?" My mom finally spoke. "Boys, please, not at dinner." Kevin ignored her. "Are you calling me manipulative? I'm trying to protect my wife." Mia reached for Kevin's arm. "Honey, let's just drop it." Kevin shook her off. "No, I want to hear what my perfect little brother thinks he knows about marriage and loss." I took a deep breath because I knew what I was about to say would change everything. "I think you've been using Mia's miscarriage as an excuse to control her for 8 months. I think you've isolated her from her friends, dictated what she eats, when she sleeps, and how she exercises. I think you've convinced her that the miscarriage was somehow her fault when it wasn't." Kevin's face went purple. "How dare you? You have no idea what we've been through together." I looked at Mia. "Have you been through it together? Or has Kevin been punishing you for something that wasn't your fault?" Kevin stepped toward me. "Get out of my parents' house." I didn't move. "It's not your house, Kevin, and I'm not finished." My dad finally looked up from his plate. "Son, maybe you should let this go." I shook my head. "No, Dad. Someone needs to say it." Kevin was shaking with rage. "Say what? That I'm a bad husband for wanting to have a healthy baby?" I stood up to face him directly. "The miscarriage wasn't because Mia ate sugar or didn't exercise enough. The doctor told you both that it was a chromosomal abnormality, completely random, completely unavoidable." Kevin's jaw tightened. "We could have been more careful." I pressed harder. "More careful how? By starving her? By making her feel like a failure? By tracking her every move like she's a prisoner?" Kevin grabbed my shirt collar. "Shut your mouth." I didn't back down. "Mia told me everything last month, Kevin. She called me crying because you screamed at her for 20 minutes after she had a glass of wine with her sister. One glass. She was terrified to come home." My mom gasped. Kevin let go of my shirt and turned to look at Mia, who had tears streaming down her face. "You talked to him about our private business?" Mia's voice cracked. "I didn't know who else to call." Kevin rounded on her. "I can't believe you would betray me like this. After everything I've done to help us have a baby." Something inside me snapped completely. "Help? You want to know why Mia hasn't gotten pregnant again, Kevin? Because stress is one of the biggest factors in fertility, and you've turned her life into a living nightmare." Kevin spun back to face me. "You don't know what you're talking about." I pulled out my phone and showed him the texts Mia had sent me. Screenshots of his controlling messages, his food logs, his exercise demands, his threats to leave her if she failed again. "The doctor told you the miscarriage was random, but you needed someone to blame because you couldn't handle feeling helpless. So you blamed Mia, and you've spent 8 months torturing her for something that was never her fault." Kevin stared at the phone screen, his face cycling through rage, denial, and finally something that looked like recognition. My mom was crying. My dad was staring at his plate. Mia was sobbing quietly. Kevin looked at his wife with hollow eyes. "I was just trying to fix things." I grabbed my keys. "You weren't fixing anything, Kevin. You were breaking her." Mia moved in with her sister that night, and she filed for divorce 3 weeks later.